Welcome to today's deep dive. We're looking at humility, which, we usually think of as a soft virtue, like being a bit of a doormat.
Right, yeah. Keeping your head down, staying quiet.
Exactly. But the text we're diving into today argues the exact opposite. It frames humility not as a weakness, but as a weapon.
It's a complete reframing.
Yeah, a weapon and a medicine. So our mission today is to understand why this text sees humility as the ultimate cure for the human condition. We're looking at Demonstration 9 by Aphrahat.
The Persian sage. And to really get this, you have to understand where he's coming from. I mean, he's writing around 340 AD.
But not in Rome or Greece.
No, exactly. He's not part of that world. He's in the Persian Empire, writing in Syriac.
Which is a huge differentiator for the sources we have from that era.
Oh, absolutely. While the Western Church is getting very philosophical and Hellenized, Aphrahat represents this very earthy Semitic form of Christianity.
Much closer to the cultural roots of the original scriptures.
Exactly. So he isn't interested in abstract definition. He wants to know what works. His central thesis here is that humility is a mechanism. He describes it as a transformative force.
A mechanism. I like that. So let's look at the output of that mechanism. He talks about the fruits of humility.
Yeah, he draws this really hard line connecting your internal state to your biology, which is fascinating.
He basically says the heart and the mouth are part of one biological system.
An input-output system, right? He argues that a humble heart conceives all that is beautiful.
So if the root, the heart, is humble, the mouth just inevitably gives birth to good fruits.
Right, which means you can't fake it. You can't just censor your speech to appear humble.
Because if there's envy or strife inside,
it's going to manifest. It has to.
Yeah. He actually contrasts the lovers of peace with the proud, arguing that pride just inevitably leads to public humiliation.
And that leads to the intellectual core of this text. Aphrahat sets up what we might call the great reversal.
The Adam versus Jesus comparison.
Yes. But he does it by analyzing their approach to status. He actually calls Adam flint of dust.
Flint of dust. That is such a stark reminder of materiality.
It really is. And Aphrahat's reading is that Adam was given a commandment to eventually attain a higher divine nature.
Yeah.
But he got impatient.
He tried to snatch it.
Right. He tried to take on a glorification, a status that wasn't his yet.
That's the key insight for me. Adam's failure wasn't just breaking a rule, it was a failure of timing. Grabbing glory for yourself.
And the result of grabbing was losing. He was stripped of whatever glory he had.
He was humiliated.
Exactly. And he contrasts this with Jesus, who had the status but voluntarily lowered himself, becoming flint of dust, and was subsequently exalted.
So the logic is, if you snatch the crown, you lose it. If you lower yourself, you receive it.
It's a total paradox of power. Elevation comes from the bottom up, not the top down.
And he anchors this in that parable from Luke's gospel, right? The Pharisee and the publican.
Yeah, the Pharisee announces his own righteousness and leaves empty. The publican admits his brokenness and leaves justified.
And this is where Aphrahat calls humility the best medicine.
Yes.
I really want to pause on that metaphor. Medicine implies that pride isn't just a personality flaw, it's a sickness.
That's exactly how he views it. Pride, envy, conflict, they are wounds in the soul. Humility is the antidote.
And he traces this through history, noting that the righteous found favor through this trait.
Not by their power or their personal branding, but by applying this medicine to their own limitations.
It suggests humility is actually the ultimate survival strategy.
Because in a system where everyone is fighting for the top,
the only safe place is the bottom, because
Yeah.
that's where the great reversal happens.
it's the only real path to true spiritual elevation. Becoming a lover of peace rather than trying to force the world to acknowledge you.
Which brings us right back to that image of Adam, the flint of dust trying to play God.
If you try to grasp it, you lose it.
And looking at our current culture, which is so obsessed with self-promotion and getting ours, you really have to wonder, are we just repeating that ancient mistake? Are we trying to snatch glory rather than developing the character to actually receive it?
It's a heavy question.
Yeah.
But if Aphrahat is right, the more you grasp, the more you lose.
Definitely something to mull over next time you feel the urge to promote yourself.